CNN, you are so close yet so far. Hello, 大家好，欢迎回到外媒看中国，我是安博然。An hilariously difficult moment for Western media has erupted here in China over the past few days as mainstream media staff in the West struggled to put across two contradictory claims in the same story. That China's social media is tightly controlled and dissent is not allowed, and that Chinese netizens are in an uproar against Beijing's plans for a new foreign talent visa. Now, we've been told for years that China is an authoritarian nightmare, that the voices of ordinary people aren't heard or considered. That's a lie, obviously, one that Western media like CNN are having a real dilemma with this week as Chinese netizens debate a government plan to invite foreign STEM graduates to live here. Today, we'll go beyond the propaganda and check out all of the juicy details. This is Reports on China. I'm Andy Boreham here in Shanghai. Let's get reporting. Chinese netizens have been in an uproar over the past few days about Beijing's proposed new K visa scheme and how it will affect local talent. Social media apps across China have seen heated discussion about the scheme aimed at attracting foreign talent in the STEM fields, that's science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, with many expressing their anxieties and dissatisfaction with what they see as preferential treatment for foreign talent. But wait a minute, I thought China didn't allow for dissenting opinions and that the social media landscape here was tightly controlled by the government. So how is it then that the topic has been trending here in China with hundreds of millions of views in just 2 days? Well, that's a contradiction that Western media are struggling to grapple with as they report on the social media debate over this issue. Firstly, I'll fill you guys in on the details. Basically, Beijing has proposed a new visa category called the K visa, which theoretically aims to attract more foreign talent in the STEM fields. Applicants need to have graduated from a specific list of top STEM universities worldwide and would now not need to have a job offer in China before applying. Apart from that, details are scarce, leading many members of the public here in China to fear the worst. The topic went viral across social media platforms in China over the past few days, with many worrying that the requirements were too low and that local STEM graduates, of whom there are many, would face tougher prospects of finding employment because of the scheme. Since this story involves Chinese netizens disagreeing with their government on a proposed new policy, Western media are, of course, desperate to cover the topic, especially since, as we all know, drama and conflict are the fundamental building blocks of successful media reports in the West. Check out these headlines. BBC ran with, "A new China tech visa has caught India's attention. Now locals aren't happy." CNN's read, "China's jobless youth aren't happy with a plan to attract foreign professionals with a new K visa." The South China Morning Post said, "China's new K visa is meant to lure foreign STEM talent. Instead, it's drawn criticism." Now, to be completely honest, those headlines are quite accurate because, like most major topics in China, the public will debate them at large on social media. And perhaps something Western media won't admit, the government pays close attention and listens to the public's concerns. The South China Morning Post shared a few comments from Chinese netizens. "How much manpower and resources will it take to thoroughly vet each application and make sure it's true?" Another commenter asked, "Does this policy imply that our education system is inferior to that of other countries? Why is it that young people in China with bachelor's degrees struggle to find good jobs and are forced to pursue master's degrees, while foreign bachelor's degree holders are considered tech talent?" All very fair and legitimate concerns, but some Western media outlets are struggling to match the public debate in China with their stance that Chinese people have no say, that China is an authoritarian nightmare, where people are terrified of disagreeing with Beijing. Anyone who lives here knows that's not true, and Western media probably knows it too. But their struggle continues. The funniest example was definitely CNN, who were trying desperately to walk a tightrope, presenting Chinese netizens as being unhappy with their government, while at the same time pretending that Chinese social media is void of any dissent and constantly sanitized by 1984-esque thought police. Check this out. They started their article by saying, a new visa category launched by the Chinese government to attract young science and technology professionals is causing a fervent backlash in China. They add that China's government sees the new visa scheme as a plus, but many voices across China have made it clear that they have a different view. They add, discussion of the K visa category has dominated social media discussion in recent days, where top trending hashtags related to the visa have reached roughly 500 million views in the space of 2 days. Okay, that's pretty accurate, but then just a few paragraphs down, they refer to China's massive online ecosystem as tightly regulated social media platforms. Come on, CNN, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Pick one. They then pull China's traditional media into the crosshairs, again mistaking democracy in action here as some kind of draconian, authoritarian manipulation. Everyone knows that media in China is generally under the wing of the government, unlike in the West, where government and media are meant to be separate, meant to be. So they call the People's Daily, who wrote a piece aiming to allay the public's fears about the proposed visa, the Communist Party mouthpiece, they wrote. Communist Party mouthpiece People's Daily on Tuesday alluded to that point in an editorial that aimed to tamp down on the widespread backlash to the initiative. CNN, you are so close, yet so far. They're missing two very, very important points. Number one, the fact that the People's Daily released an article aiming to allay the public's fears shows that they care what the public think. And two, the People's Daily article shows that the government, right at the very top, have noticed and heard the discussions online. But of course, CNN would never make those connections because CNN and other Western media are completely unaware of nuance and subtlety and differences in the systems of other nations, and they're totally unable to remove their biased glasses when reporting on other cultures, which is a shame because they literally had all the information right there, right in front of their eyes. They just failed to see it. China is not the United States. China is not the UK. China is China. China has its own culture, history, and beliefs. What China does works for China, obviously. If only the Western media could stop trying to smash China into a Western-shaped box each and every time they report on it. And on that note, that will be it for today, guys. But as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you been following the K visa debate in China? And do you think it's a good idea? Do let me know down below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help the channel. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.